So one of the benefits of having a long-term field study and observing the same environments repeatedly over, large amounts of time is that you see the same creatures, man, over and over. And so Kerry Arnold came to town to do the crypto reality story for Bigfoot Odyssey. And I took him into my research area where I've seen several different Sasquatch. Even before researching, I saw one in 2013. And I caught this guy on film while one was running off screaming. That's a heat signature. And that's a sketch I did in 2019. As you can plainly see, the heat signature pretty much matches the sketch of the same individual that I saw through another thermal. Only this time, I was recording. To see more of this footage, watch for the Bigfoot Odyssey crypto reality story soon on Bigfoot Odyssey YouTube. They can be in places where it's not thick forest, man. It's pine prairie with interspersed hammocks. I would have never thought in a million years I'd see something like that out here, and that changed everything for me, So this is a piece of footage I shot with Kerry while he was in town. And I'm sure you're going to see a few of these images or still frames in the film upcoming Bigfoot Odyssey's crypto reality story. This particular day was actually a big letdown for me. It was the day that I found out my research area and the exact bushes that we've been marking the Sasquatch in were actually burned to the ground. So it was like, we did all this work identifying all this habitat, and then we show up the day Kerry comes into town and they burn it down the day before so that we couldn't do our job. And guess what, guys? We did our job anyway. One particular aspect of what I noted was that all I had to do was shoot the bushes they didn't burn, and suddenly there they were. So they just moved back into the greener forest. And they're doing the same thing. Digging holes and watching. Good luck, man. Keeping those Bigfoot away from us. This is the area we've been catching them on film. And really, we're standing right here. This is where the dude jumped the trail. But there was a row right here, if you'll show that, Mel. There was a row of saw palmettos that went all the way down this whole stretch. All the way down this stretch like this, and they've removed them all. Because when he came across that trail and landed right in here, there was 12-foot high saw palmettos. And then he was, of course he went like this. When he landed like this, like it was nothing. And then I must have made a sound, because he went. And then I looked at my partner. When I looked back up, the bushes were moving and his ass was gone. So I think he ran off in here and then went that way. Oddly enough, about 100 yards further, I found a track in an ant pile. Big 18-inch track. That was when my buddy said, "Holy, you really did see one." I was like, "Yeah, man, But if you look at all this stuff, they're cutting down all this stuff, and it wouldn't surprise me, man, if they have cameras out here and they're keeping an eye on this stuff. They've got those cameras that are, camouflage, and they'll put them on trees. And the reason they're doing that is because they don't have the money to allot to have a person out here like we are all the time. You know what I mean? So, but let's get on down the trail.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time in our research areas, and so we get to see and record every aspect of the wildlife that lives in these areas, and the snakes are no exception, man. I was just about ready to step in here, and Mel was like, "Whoa!" And so we shot some footage for you. If you watch him closely, you can see his awareness. He comes right up, sticks his head up, and he's looking right at me. I'm actually on the right, on the edge of the water. He comes right through there, and he's looking right at me. Now I start filming him, and as I take a step forward, he shoots off. Here's the footage from my camera. There he goes. Almost stepped on him. That's happened several times, And once I did step on a water moccasin and he bit my boot. I jumped about 3 feet in the air. He took off and we went the other way. So we're looking at this thing's face, and it's right there behind Melanie and I. And let's take a look at what's going on here. You can see its face, you can see its eye, you can even see it glare. It does a little bit of facial movement, but this is all happening in the matter of 2 seconds. We're dealing with individual frames where we caught a glimpse with the camera of what was behind us, literally blending in, hiding with the bushes, changing colors in real time so that you can't see it. All it has to do is be quiet, and you never even know it was there. And trust me, in this place, thousands of people every single year walk right past this spot. People ride their bikes here, and they never even know. You can see the grass is blowing right in front of his face. He's just laying in there with his pals, watching my wife and I. I think the scariest part of this place is that you can literally be walking through here in broad daylight, and it's like they're just right there. I mean, it's interesting to me that most people have a lot to say about Bigfoot being real and very little to say about how they're actually hiding. Like, we know they're in these areas. It seems to escape the majority of people involved in the subject that they actually are hiding in the bushes, and that's where you're going to catch them when they're not out in the open, hunting or doing whatever it is they do. Just looking at it, it makes perfect sense to me that I saw a Bigfoot in this area, and now I'm catching these creatures on film in really what represents the only place they can hide. I think probably the most important thing that I've learned from a research standpoint, observing this habitat for 7 years, is that the creatures don't really want to leave, first of all, and because of their staying in this area, you can begin to pattern which bushes and which areas will actually enable them to conceal themselves. And so, by process of elimination and a lot of hard work, we've done that. And so, what we do is we go into the areas we know actually hold the creatures during the daytime, during their rest periods. They're going to be a little bit cooler in these particular spots. This creature that you're seeing here is in the tall grass, but he's inside a cocoa plum. Cocoa plums provide what ultimately are the most drastic temperature variations because they have a very thickly lined trunk, and their branches are thickly lined with very dark leaves that block the sunlight. And so, from a research standpoint, not only can I show you that the creature is hiding in this cocoa plum, but I can provide some accurate information as to why it's cooler. Okay, first I'm smelling this, and I'm looking at it, and it's definitely got a human feces smell to it. And then right here, we're looking at hair from a wild boar sticking out of it. See this hog coming out of it here? Here, let's push it over here. Somebody's been eating hog out here. But this one, man, look at that. Yeah. See that gray hair in there?
Oh, yeah.
Let me get that stuff out of the way. You getting a good shot of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll zoom in. And I think she was looking somewhere back in there. And he may still be there checking us out. right, so we're coming back out now because we got into back where we needed to be, where all the game's at, and where we catch them on film, and where I saw that Bigfoot, and really close gunshots. That last shot was a rifle. It was probably within 200 yards of us, and that's like fatal index. You know, that's like the distance, man, can kill you at that distance. You know, when they were way off in the back, that's one thing, but still kill you. But so we're losing the safety factor, and we're gonna go ahead and head out. But you know, it still amazes me that I saw what I saw out here, and that we've been finding what we find out here, and it just is a testament to this species' adaptability. When they survey the trail here at the crossroads, and this is where we've gotten most of our audio, and this is where my sighting was, as well as they can be in places where it's not thick forest, man. It's pine prairie with interspersed hammocks and dry areas, and they stay in those dry areas, and it's just it really is amazing. It's a testament to the ability that the Bigfoot species has to adapt to different environments. And the one thing that this place has is a ton of clean water and absolute tons of game. So I can kind of see why they'd be here now that I know, but I would have never thought in a million years I'd see something like that out here, and that changed everything for me, you know. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Ready to go?
Yep.
All right, well look guys, thanks for watching the Bigfoot Researcher's Journal, and we'll see you next week.
The Bigfoot Researcher's Journal.
There's a Bigfoot up in a tree, 35 to 40 feet off the ground. You can see its eye staring. It has what appear to be white eyes and a little slit down the center. I love that shot.